Hey kiddos, your favorite aunt here, and you'll never guess what happened. Well, yesterday I filmed an entire makeup tutorial how to do eye makeup inspired by the Velociraptor Blue, because I had my Velociraptor Blue and I needed to film an opening for my other channel, the toy review channel. And I imported the footage today, and the audio is trash, unusable, absolutely decimated, and I cannot fix it. So rather than voiceover, I thought, okay, well, just do it again. So here we are. And again, this is going to be a little bit more of a dramatic makeup because it's based off of a dinosaur, the Velociraptor Blue from the Jurassic World series. So I'm going to get started because this takes a minute. First, I have a new eyeshadow primer that I'm trying. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Shadow Primer. And it is a little bit on the peachy side. Like, it looks like a concealer. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Now, normally I put on my primer with my fingers, but I just wanted to make sure I got a nice even application, and beauty blenders are really good for that. It's very important to prime my eyes today because they're going to be the focus of everything I'm doing. And I think while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and put the primer on the rest of my face. This is my Simply Ageless CoverGirl Anti-Aging Foundation Primer. And it is white. And this I apply with my hands for sure. Mainly on places that are rough. My cheeks in particular. Now they're going to be pink for a minute because I just rubbed them. But I can feel that I have even coverage. I want to hydrate the corners of my eyes. I'm going to do the eyebrows first because they're easy and I like doing them first just to get them out of the way. I want to sort of fill in the centers of my eyebrows, and I want to have a little bit of a more of a pronounced point right here today, because the Velociraptor is a very aggressive animal. I thought having a little bit of a point on the corner of my eyebrow would be a good call. Unfortunately, this comes with a spoolie, so I can now comb through that just a tiny bit, give it more of a feathered look. It helps it blend. And voila, now I have eyebrows. Something else I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Highlighter, and I'm going to highlight my brow bone just right underneath. I'm just going to take this concealer brush and try to blend this eyebrow highlighter down a bit. Kind of pull it down into around the edge of my brow bone, because my brow bone's like right here. So I want to highlight the top and then fade it down. There we go. It's really weird, like, I'm surrounded by so much blue stuff right now, I'm tasting blueberries, but there's not blueberries anywhere near me. The thing about Velociraptor Blue is she has uneven stripes, and they start at her eye area and go all the way down her body. I'm not going to do that to myself, obviously, but this eye, her right eye, has blue all the way around it and back, and this eye, it starts at the outer corner of her eye and goes back. So the way that I do this is that I put blue all the way around this eye And then the inner corner of this eye and about half the top lid, I leave like a whitish color. I think I'm going to go into this Revlon Color Stay palette that I've had since 2016. This is inspired, but basically you need a light blue, you need a dark blue, you need a white or a gray, and then you need something that has a little bit of a white shimmer to go in the center of this eye. But anyway, I'm going to start with this neutral color. I'm going to put it all over both eyes because we want a nice base to start with so we can blend it out. Just going to start at the inner corner and the top and work my way all the way down the lid. And I like to, when I'm wearing blue shadow or green shadow, I like to make sure that the lid is nice and covered with a nice light color to start with, because if you don't, you're just going to look like you have a black eye. It's really, really easy to go from 0 to black eye, and you don't want to do that. That's not necessarily a good look. So just gonna make sure that this is nice and covered with a nice coat that fades out over here of this white color. I'll do the same to the other eye, paying close attention to the inner corner to make sure that I have that corner of the lid covered, because that'll be the base for the way that the eye looks when it's finished. Because in addition to wanting a nice base coat for your color, you also want to mimic the Velociraptor Blue's coloring, because her stripe is actually outlined by a little bit of a lighter color that helps it stand out from the dark gray of her skin. I think I'm going to stick with the CoverGirl True Naked Dazed palette. This is readily available. Most people should be able to find this palette. So to start with, we want to take our medium blue, our lighter blue, and apply it to this lid, the entire lid, and then on this lid from the middle out. And we're just going to pat it on. You can see it's really pigmented, and because I primed and I have a white base, it's showing up really nicely. And resist the urge to blend with this brush. This brush is just to apply it, and then I'm going to go ahead and take it out a little bit, because this is the eye that is supposed to be more blue. And I'm also going to take it down underneath the bottom lash line. It's really messy right now, and I have a lot of fallout because there was, for some reason, a lot of loose powder in my palette. But we're going to clean that up, so that won't be a problem. Now remember, on this eye, your left eye, you only want it on the outer, so from the center out. You don't want any blue getting towards the inner corner of this eye. And it's okay to take it out sideways just a little. Kind of like where your wing area is. Go ahead and take it out there. And it's also okay if you get some on the bottom outer corner, but you don't want to go anywhere near the center or the inner corner for sure. So there's our blue base. We have a little angled brush here, and we're going to use the darker blue and do only the outer corners. So there'll be some here. I'm just going to pat that on, resisting the urge to blend with this brush because this is the wrong brush for blending. We want precise application. This brush, something in that brush. I don't know what's going on. Switch brushes. Give us a nice, new, clean brush. Only want to put that on the very outer corner. Same way with the other side, just the outer corner. Go ahead and tap that in. by putting a little bit of darker color in the outer corner, it kind of widens your eyes a little bit, gives them a little bit more depth. And I'm going to just pat a little more blue on this eye, right there where I want the color to be. I feel like when I did the corners it fell off some. Alright, very important step, blending. When you're blending, I want you to not drag the color downward at all. If you do that, it's going to make your whole face drop down. It's going to pull down the outside of your eyes and your brows and the whole thing. So you just want to blend, and you don't want to take your blue and then dip it over on your white side. So we're going to start in the center and blend to the out and up, and then do this eye second because it has more blue on it. We're just going to try and soften this little edge. See how easy that softened up? I barely touched it. And then go up here on the top and blend this out. It's very, very easy to blend. And I'm just going to keep blending it out and up. Now before I get too much blue, I'm going to go over here to the top, start in the corner, and blend. See how easy that's blending? My goodness, it's a dream blend. And then I'm just going to keep blending till I soften these edges. Go ahead and touch the outer corner of my eye there a little bit and get this dark blended into this medium blue a little. Don't want to touch it too much. Don't want to blend it off, but I do want to make sure that I keep blending up. And don't forget, we're going to go back and fix the bottom lid and all of that when we do our concealer and stuff, or before we do our concealer. So back over here now where we got a lot of blue, I'm just going to take it and pull it out and up. It's important to have a good blender brush. All right. I know it's a little scary right now, but trust me, when we get it all fixed up, we'll look good. And I may have blended too much right there, so I'm just going to tap some more blue on. Just tap more blue on. Not sure where we stopped recording, but I just want to go over again the colors I used on my eye. So I started with the CoverGirl True Naked Dazed, the extra intense color, and then followed up with the Vital, and I put the lighter blue all over this lid and only from the center out of this lid, and then the dark only in the corners. And then we blended it out, and then we touched up the center. We have a little bit of shimmery blue on this eye towards the center, or towards the inner corner, and then a little bit of white sparkle on this side first so that we don't mix the white with the blue. And once this side was on, I went ahead and I tapped a little into this side to sort of help highlight the inner corner. For cleanup while applying makeup, I always keep my Burt's Bees facial sensitive skin cleansing towelettes handy, and they're really nice, and they don't leave a lot of residue on your skin or anything like that. They're very nice cleaning cloths, and they pick up all my mistakes, so you know you gotta have something like that in your life. And I'm just gonna wipe that blue right up to the lower lid. You can stay on the lower lid, and then when I get here to the outside, just going to go straight back towards my hair. Just like that. Ta-da! Cleaned up. Do the same thing on the other eye. Make sure we get all the blue off the lower lid on this side. Leave it on the outside of the lower lid, and then take it straight back towards my hairline, just like that. Now I've got my blue stripe and my mismatched blue around my eyes. Now that the shadow's on, I'm going to go ahead and do my foundation and my concealer and stuff. And then we'll go back in and we'll do the liner and the lashes and the lip color. So we're going to start with a little bit of color correction because I have a little blemish there on my chin. And this is the NYX HD Studio Photogenic in green to counteract the redness. And then I have my, there it is, I have my CoverGirl Simply Ageless Instant Fix Concealer. And I really like this. It has a little like spongy tip inside here, so you can just literally just put it right on. And it cranks up, puts out just the right amount of product. Now I like to go into the inner corner of my eye a little bit with this, because I need to brighten up. I have a little bit of a deep set eye, so I want to brighten up the inner corners and get rid of this like blue trench. And I just use the little sponge applicator to apply it, and then I blend it out with the Beauty Blender. I also have a blue vein on either side of my head. It's taking away from the blue stripe a little bit, so I'm just going to tap a little on that, and then we'll blend it out with our slightly damp Beauty Blender. It doesn't take much. You don't want to make it disappear, you just want to soften it up. Taking it right up to where the blue is. I mean, you could do your foundation and your concealer and stuff before you do your eyes, but there's so much fallout with blue. I like to do the bright, bold colors first. And then if I have to clean up or redo the under eye or anything, I don't have to redo all of this work. Just have to redo the one portion of it, you know. There we go. And hopefully by putting concealer all the way up to where I want the blue to be, it will help make that line stand out a little more. And then I'm just going to blend in my green, start in the middle, and then blend outward. We don't want to remove it, we just want to soften it so that I can put foundation on it. I may have blended it too much because it's very dried already. This NYX is a new product for me, so might take me a try or two to get used to it. But I do like the color. I think it balances out pretty well. I think it covers easy enough. Okay. My nose is a little red too. For my foundation, I've been using the CoverGirl Aqua Smooth, and this is Creamy Natural. And I really like this because it applies smoothly like a liquid and then dries down to a powder finish. So I can be really precise with the application, and then the finish is really nice. So I'm just going to stripe and then pat right up onto my concealer. right up to that blue line on the outside anyway. I'm just gonna pat this out so it looks all nice and even. I'm gonna do the other side. I'm gonna stripe and then pat. I mean, and this is more of a dramatic theatrical look, so I mean, it's perfectly acceptable to look a little dramatic, to look a little bold, even be a little wild. It's totally fine. I'm going to go ahead and stripe. Stripes seems to be the theme today. Pat that on the bridge of my nose. I don't like to put a ton of product on the tip of my nose, mainly because, I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. If I put anything on my nose will itch all day. It doesn't matter what kind it is. I'm not allergic to it. Obviously, I put it on everything else and it's fine. It just makes the tip of my nose itch. So, blend that right up into my hairline a little bit. Not too much because it's a lighter color and I don't want to accentuate the white roots. And then the chin's a little more difficult. You don't want to stripe it on because you've got the green. You don't want to take it off. You want to blend it in. So you just pat. Pat the color on and it will blend out the green. Put a little on my mustache there. I touched the end of my nose, didn't I? On this channel, you're going to find that I say not to do something and then immediately do it. Quite often. Like, just do as I say, not as I do, alright? Now that I have foundation and concealer on, I'm going to go ahead and do the bronzer, blush, and highlight. For that, I have been using, again, CoverGirl. Sensing a theme here. The CoverGirl True Blend Surfing Sculpt Palette. This is the 500, so it's a little bit more on the warm side. They have another one that's more pinky, but I just find that the warm colors look better on me, even though my skin tone is mostly neutral. I'm going to start with the dark color on a contour brush. I'm just going to go right along my hairline and right up and then into my hairline over here. Hopefully you can see that. Same thing on the other side. Just right along my hairline. And the reason is I want this space to be about the same as this space. And that is, it's more balanced and it's more pleasing to the eye. It's just like it's from art class. Like I learned that when you're drawing a human being and you're just making it up and you're not copying a photo or anything, you'd measure out the proportions of the face like that. And they are the way they are because that is the most balanced, supposedly aesthetically pleasing proportions. It's not that the person is flawed, it's that the way our eyes see visual space makes it look odd, if that makes any sense. Try not to get offended, it's just the optics. So anyway, trying to soften the edge of my forehead here with my receding hairline and round out my forehead just a tiny bit. Make my fish face and then blend. You draw the line and then you blend up and down from it so that it's most bold here and softer on the edges. if that makes sense to you. And it's okay to go a little heavy-handed with stuff when you want to do a dramatic look like this, especially if you're going to be on camera, because cameras and studio lights tend to wash it out. Now for the jawline, I'm going to go right under my jaw and blend down all the way down my neck. And I'm going to darken my chins, my old lady waddle. Again, you start at the bright spot at the top, just under your chin, and then blend down. Just making sure that I'm blended right here, especially. Because if you don't get the neck blended out, you look like you're dirty. You don't look like you're shadowed. So hopefully you can see the effects there. I'm going to grab a little bit of blush. And I don't need much because I'm always pinky. But I have this nice warm blush color. And usually I just put it right on my apple. Using this brush is kind of weird because it's like a face powder brush, but it's flat on one way and wide the other way. So I always use the wide part. Put it in the powder like this. Tap off the extra. And then just like that. Blending up slightly into the area that I just bronzed. Towards the ear. Always towards the ear. You draw the face out and up. It's like a visual facelift. Same over here. It doesn't take much. Now I have a concealer brush. I'm going to take just a little tap of the dark color, and I'm going to go down straight down the side of my nose, and then down in like an L shape, and then blend that down. Because I have an extra wide nose, and drawing this line down the side of my nose and blending it out really sort of helps give shape to my big old hunker. There's substantial real estate here. I've always, some people have Betty Davis eyes. I have Betty Davis's nose. For the highlighter, I'm not going to use the highlighter in this palette. I filmed a review the other day for Ipsy Glam Bags, and they sent me this, is it Ibby or IBY? They don't tell you how to pronounce stuff. But this is Radiant Glow Highlighter in, it says 24K Magic. Not tested on animals, so it's cruelty-free. And it says ultra-fine high-impact formula. So since we want a nice dramatic look, I decided to break out the expensive highlighter. It's just, I'll swatch it for you. You can see it's a gorgeous shimmer shine color. Love it. Love it to death. So I got my, let's use this highlighter. I got a new highlighter brush. This I got from Target. RT413. I love this brush. So anyway, just tap it in and make sure you don't have extra. And then just right along the top of your cheekbone, just like that. And hopefully you can see the difference. I'm going to go ahead and pile it on a little. Again, I want a little bit of drama. I want to emphasize, I want it to run parallel to this stripe on the side of my eye, because I want it to emphasize that stripe. There we go. Right on the top of the cheekbone. Hopefully you can see that. It's actually quite shimmery. I'm going to go ahead and put a little over each point on my eyebrows. And don't worry, I'm going to go over the whole look with a translucent powder and another brush and blend, make sure everything is blended. I'm going to put just a little here. And what do they call that? The Cupid's bow? I'm going to put a dab, just a dab, on the top of my nose. And just a tiny bit. I don't think I'm going to put it on my chin this time. I usually put some on my chin. Nope. I don't want to draw attention to that area right now because it's blemished. That is a tip that I picked up watching other people do makeup. Don't highlight what you don't want people to look at. It sounds silly. It's really simple. It happens to work. So I've gone ahead and done a winged eyeliner with the NYX Epic Ink. Is it NYX or NYX? I don't know. Honestly, this one's not too bad. This one's pretty terrible. But I have another step that I'm going to do, so I'm not too worried about it. Normally, I try to make the inner corners thinner than the outer, particularly because I have such deep set eyes. I don't want to use up my lid real estate. But like I said, this next step is, well, you'll see. The next step is pretty important. I want to do something on the bottom waterline. Instead of using the dark liner, I'm actually going to go in with white. I've had this pencil forever, and there's a reason, because you can clean it and use it over and over again, and it actually works. If you can see, hopefully you can see, my lower waterline is nice and bright and white, and I even used it to touch up a little bit where the black liner went a little too far. Not too shabby. Wish I could tell you what kind it was, but the lettering's mostly worn off. But I will tell you, I think I bought it at CVS, because I bought a lot of makeup at CVS when I was in high school and college. Next step is lashes. I'm really excited about this because I've used these a few times now. They are magnetic lashes, not the kind where you have to like take the top lash and stick it to the bottom lash and sandwich your lash. No, that doesn't work. This actually has magnetic eyeliner, and it has little tiny bits of finely milled like iron, which is natural in your body anyway. It's in your blood, it's everywhere. But what happens is you put this liner on where you want the lash to go, and you let it mostly dry, and then it's just a tiny bit tacky. You take the lash and you lay it on where you've put this on, and boom, miracles happen. So check this out. The only downside to this whole thing is that they give you like a nail polish brush to put this liner on with. So I have to clean it off really good. I tried using a tiny brush from my kit to apply it, and it just didn't work. So very carefully, you want to go as close to the lash line as you can get with this. You want it to start where your natural lashes start and go out to where they end. I've actually got a little on my bottom lid. I'm just gonna, before it dries, you can just like lightly tap it and it comes off. Ta-da, gone. And then I'm going to take my lash, my nifty little clampy tweezers they gave me, where my natural lashes start, and touch that right on where I've applied the magnetic liner. Press it down a little. And voila, you have lashes. Isn't that neat? I hate fake lashes, but I love these. They work great, and they look good. I think they do. They're not even, I mean, they're not really heavy either. Well, if you're used to wearing false lashes, you're going to be fine with these. They're not that heavy. And ta-da, that is my lashes on. I absolutely love these magnetic lashes. They're super easy. Like, I've seen so many people struggle with those other ones that have the 2 layers. This is, you just whack that liner on, let it dry is the main thing, because if you don't, it'll just fall right off. But you let it dry a bit, and then you just boop, pop them on, and there you go. Not too bad. So now that we've got our lashes on, I don't want to forget to go over the whole look with a little bit of translucent powder, just to, you know, make sure that it's blended and set. Make sure that the shine stays where I want it. Blend that up just a bit. Make sure my bronzer line isn't the line. I'm leaving the blue alone because I don't want to mess it up. And now we have one thing left, and that is a lip color. Now, it's very important when you have a nice bold eye, you want to have a nice neutral lip or something that's downplayed, because you don't want to take away from the eye look. I could very easily slap on some blue lipstick and it would look good for maybe 5 minutes, but it would totally detract from the eyes. I'm going to use Liquid Catsuit. This is the Mega Last Wet n Wild in Honey Glaze. This is a very nice shimmery nude. Goes on nice, stays put. Do it again, just for coverage. Of course, the final step is always to use a nice setting spray, especially if you want this to last forever. And I use the CoverGirl Outlast Active Cooling Mist Setting Spray. It's a lovely fine mist. Smells like cucumber melon. Smells like the 90s. It's very nice. Speed the drying process along a little bit. And you can see my magnetic lashes don't go anywhere when I do this. They are staying put. And that's me done. There you have a nice blue, Velociraptor blue inspired eye look. It's, I would say, not exactly a beginner look, but it's not that difficult either. The main thing you want to do is make sure your eyes are primed. You want to make sure that you have a nice, good quality eyeshadow, and make sure that you don't mix the white and the blue, or you totally ruin the whole effect. And the other thing you want to be sure is not to over blend, because the blue shadow, while it's nice and bold and stays on, blending it will totally blah. You want to blend up and out, not down, because you don't want to drag the outside of your eyes down. I'll put in some pictures of the look so you can get a closer view of what it looks like. You can also look down in the description for a link to my review of the Mattel Jurassic World Super Colossal Velociraptor Blue toy. She is 37 inches long. She's huge and beautiful, and I think you're going to really love that toy, and it will hopefully help you tie in. If you haven't seen Jurassic World, what are you doing? Go watch Jurassic World. Because you might be asking yourself, well, why do I want to look like Velociraptor Blue? Well, obviously you can wear it to the movies because there's another movie coming out in 2021. You can wear it for photo shoots with your toys, or if you are planning to visit Universal Studios Hollywood or Universal's Islands of Adventure in Orlando, you can actually meet the Velociraptor Blue and get your picture taken with Blue. And I think it would be really neat to show up with blue eye makeup and blue clothes so that you can be matchy-matchy with Blue. I hope that you've enjoyed this makeup look. And if you have, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. That really helps me out. It does help me know what you like to see. It helps YouTube know that I'm making good videos, and it helps other people see the videos too. Feel free to check out my other YouTube channel. It is Debasaurus Rex. It's super easy to find, and there you'll find all kinds of dinosaur content and toy reviews, particularly the Mattel Jurassic line. That's it for this video. I love you, kiddo, and I'll see you next time.